The 1970s was a decade of experimentation in the automotive world, and nowhere was this more evident than in the pickup truck segment. Automakers tried to push the boundaries of utility and style, sometimes with bizarre results. From impractical designs to questionable engineering decisions, these pickups highlight how even rugged workhorses can miss the mark. Here are 9 of the stupidest pickup trucks from the 1970s, showing that bigger or weirder wasn't always better.
Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support.
Number 9, 1975 Ford Ranchero, a vehicle that was once a pioneer of the car-truck hybrid market, but by the mid-1970s had lost sight of its purpose. While the Ranchero was initially designed to serve as a practical solution for buyers who wanted the utility of a truck with the comfort of a car, the 1975 model marked a turning point in which it became an oversized, overly luxurious compromise that alienated its original audience. Let's explore why the 1975 Ford Ranchero struggled to maintain its relevance and why it ultimately failed to excel as either a car or a truck. Ford introduced the Ranchero in 1957 as the first car-based pickup in the U.S. market, creating a new segment that combined passenger car comfort with the utility of a truck bed. Early Rancheros were compact, stylish, and practical, appealing to farmers, tradespeople, and small business owners. By the 1970s, however, the Ranchero had evolved alongside the changing automotive landscape. It grew larger and adopted a more luxurious persona, aligning with the trends of the time. Unfortunately, this shift came at a cost, as the Ranchero lost much of the simplicity and practicality that had made it successful in the first place. By 1975, the Ranchero was based on the same platform as the Ford Torino, making it significantly larger and heavier than earlier models. This added size made it less maneuverable and less practical for the tight spaces and rough terrain that earlier Rancheros handled with ease. Ford marketed the Ranchero as a vehicle that combined utility with comfort, but by 1975, it leaned heavily into luxury. High-end trims like the Ranchero Squire came with wood-grain siding, plush interiors, and features that were engine options included large V8s like the 460 cubic inch unit, but these were hampered by emissions restrictions, resulting in lower horsepower and poor fuel economy. The added weight and lack of aerodynamic design further diminished performance, making the Ranchero sluggish and inefficient. While the Ranchero still had a truck bed, its payload capacity was limited compared to traditional pickups. The focus on luxury meant it was less suited for heavy-duty work, alienating its original audience of tradespeople and workers. Early Ranchero buyers appreciated its practicality, but by 1975, the model had become too large and too luxurious to appeal to workers or utility-focused buyers. Traditional pickup trucks like the Ford F-Series offered better capability, while passenger cars provided better comfort and handling. The Ranchero tried to be both a car and a truck, but by attempting to balance these roles, it failed to excel at either. Buyers who wanted a true utility vehicle turned to pickups, while those seeking comfort and style chose sedans or wagons. By the mid-1970s, traditional pickup trucks had become more refined, offering greater comfort and versatility without sacrificing utility. The growing popularity of SUVs further eroded the Ranchero's market share, as buyers gravitated toward vehicles that could handle both off-road adventures and daily driving. The 1973 oil crisis had shifted consumer priorities toward smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. The Ranchero's poor fuel economy and large size made it an unattractive choice during a time of rising gas prices. While the 1975 Ranchero struggled to maintain its relevance, it remains an interesting chapter in automotive history for several reasons. The 1975 Ranchero, especially in its higher trims, is now a collectible vehicle, appreciated for its unique design and status as part of a bygone era of car-truck hybrids. Enthusiasts value its retro styling and its place in the evolution of utility vehicles. The Ranchero's decline serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding market trends and staying true to a vehicle's core identity. Overcomplicating a product or trying to cater to too many audiences can dilute its appeal, as seen with the 1975 Ranchero. The Ranchero remained in production until 1979, but never regained its original popularity. Its decline mirrored the gradual shift in consumer preferences toward traditional trucks and SUVs, marking the end of the car-based pickup's heyday. The 1975 Ford Ranchero is a cautionary tale about the dangers of losing sight of a vehicle's purpose. What began as a groundbreaking concept in the late 1950s had, by the mid-1970s, become a bloated and confused product that failed to meet the needs of its core audience. In trying to blend luxury and utility, the Ranchero lost its identity and found itself outpaced by both traditional pickups and passenger cars. As we reflect on its story, we are reminded that success in the automotive world requires not only innovation, but also a deep understanding of consumer needs and market trends. Number 8, 1973 Dodge D100 Adventurer SE, a vehicle that epitomized the misguided trend of turning utilitarian trucks into overly luxurious lifestyle vehicles. Dodge attempted to merge the rugged practicality of a pickup truck with the comfort and features of a sedan, but in doing so, it created a vehicle that struggled to meet the expectations of either audience. By the early 1970s, the American pickup truck market was undergoing significant changes. Trucks were no longer exclusively tools for work. They were increasingly being marketed as personal vehicles for suburban buyers. Ford and Chevrolet were leading the charge with models that balanced utility and comfort. Dodge, seeing this shift, decided to go all in with the Adventurer SE trim, positioning it as a luxury pickup. However, this move came at a time when practicality and efficiency were becoming more important due to the 1973 oil crisis, creating a mismatch between what buyers wanted and what Dodge offered. The Adventurer SE featured plush carpeting, velour or vinyl bench seats, wood grain trim, and chrome accents, attempting to rival the interior comfort of a family sedan. While these features may have appealed to some buyers, they felt out of place in a vehicle designed for hauling and hard work. Despite its Adventurer name, the SE trim was less about rugged performance and more about flashy aesthetics. The added luxury features contributed to a heavier curb weight, reducing payload capacity and making it less practical as a work vehicle. The available V8 engine options, such as the 318 and 440 cubic inch units, delivered respectable power but suffered from terrible fuel economy. With the 1973 oil crisis causing gas prices to spike, the Adventurer SE's thirst for fuel was a significant drawback, alienating budget-conscious buyers. Dodge tried to make the D100 Adventurer SE stand out with unique badging, bright paint options, and chrome trim, but these cosmetic upgrades clashed with the rugged image buyers expected from a pickup truck. By trying to compete with sedans, the Adventurer SE lost its appeal as a practical workhorse. Buyers who wanted a luxurious vehicle were more likely to purchase a full-size sedan or station wagon, while those who needed a truck gravitated towards simpler, more utilitarian models. The release of the Adventurer SE coincided with the 1973 oil crisis, which shifted consumer preferences towards smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. A gas-guzzling luxury pickup was the opposite of what the market demanded at the time. Ford's F-Series and Chevrolet's CK Series offered better balanced options that combined utility and comfort without overreaching into luxury territory. The Adventurer SE's luxury pitch felt excessive and failed to resonate with most buyers. The Adventurer SE's higher price tag was hard to justify, especially when buyers could get a more capable truck or a more refined sedan for the same money. The Adventurer SE is a fascinating example of how automakers can misread the market. While it didn't succeed in its time, it holds some historical significance today. The idea of a luxury pickup wasn't entirely wrong. Today's market is full of high-end trucks like the Ford F-150 Platinum and the Ram 1500 Limited. However, the execution in 1973 was premature, as the market wasn't ready for such a concept. The Adventurer SE's unusual blend of features makes it an interesting piece for collectors who appreciate the quirks of automotive history. Its chrome trim, unique badging, and over-the-top interior are emblematic of 1970s design excess. The failure of the Adventurer SE highlights the importance of understanding market conditions and consumer priorities. Timing and context are critical in determining whether an idea will succeed. The 1973 Dodge D100 Adventurer SE was a product of its time, a time when automakers were experimenting with new ways to attract buyers in a shifting market. Unfortunately, it was a product that misunderstood its audience and the economic realities of the era. By prioritizing luxury over utility and debuting during a fuel crisis, the Adventurer SE failed to carve out a sustainable niche. While it may not have been a success, it remains a fascinating example of how automakers have continually pushed the boundaries of what a pickup truck can be, sometimes with mixed results. Number 7, 1970, International Harvester Travelette, a vehicle that tried to push the boundaries of what a pickup truck could be, but ultimately fell short due to poor execution. The Travelette was ahead of its time in concept, being one of the first four-door pickups designed for both work and family use. However, it stumbled in key areas like styling, reliability, and comfort, leaving it to languish in the shadow of more polished competitors. The Travelette was designed as a versatile vehicle, capable of serving as both a work truck and a family hauler. At a time when most pickups were two-door models with cramped interiors, International Harvester's four-door design was groundbreaking. It anticipated the growing demand for pickups that could handle both personal and professional needs, a market segment that would later explode with the rise of crew cab trucks. However, being ahead of its time is not enough. For a concept to succeed, it must also be executed well, and this is where the Travelette fell short. By 1970, the Travelette's boxy and utilitarian design looked archaic compared to the sleek and modern pickups offered by Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge. Its angular lines and bare-bones aesthetic gave it a rugged work truck appearance, but this didn't appeal to suburban families or style-conscious buyers. International Harvester equipped the Travelette with a range of engines, including V8 options, but they were plagued by reliability issues. Frequent mechanical problems, combined with limited service networks, made the Travelette a risky choice for buyers who needed dependable transportation. The Travelette's suspension was built for durability and heavy loads, which made it a capable work truck. However, this setup resulted in a harsh ride that alienated buyers looking for comfort, especially as more refined options entered the market. With its heavy curb weight and large displacement engines, the Travelette delivered poor fuel economy. As gas prices began to rise in the 1970s, this became a significant drawback, particularly for families seeking a cost-effective alternative to traditional cars. Unlike Ford, Chevrolet, or Dodge, International Harvester didn't have a strong foothold in the consumer vehicle market. Many buyers were unfamiliar with the brand or associated it exclusively with agricultural and commercial equipment, making them hesitant to invest in a Travelette. Despite its flaws, the Travelette had the potential to be a game-changer. Its innovative four-door layout and versatile design were precisely what the market would embrace decades later with the rise of crew cab pickups. Here's what we can learn from its failure. Being ahead of the curve is not enough if the execution fails to meet consumer expectations. Outdated styling, unreliable components, and poor ride quality undermine the Travelette's innovative concept. International Harvester's limited presence in the consumer market made it difficult to compete with established brands that buyers trusted for passenger vehicles. The Travelette focused too heavily on utility at a time when buyers were beginning to demand more comfort and refinement in their pickups. While it was a commercial failure, the Travelette's forward-thinking design deserves recognition. It paved the way for the modern crew cab pickup, which is now one of the most popular vehicle configurations in the U.S. today. Collectors and enthusiasts appreciate the Travelette as a quirky piece of automotive history, a truck that dared to challenge conventions even if it didn't succeed. The Travelette has become a niche collector's item for those who appreciate its rugged charm and historical significance. Automakers learned from the Travelette's shortcomings, refining the balance between utility, comfort, and style in later crew cab pickups. The 1970 International Harvester Travelette was a bold experiment that failed to resonate with buyers due to its outdated design, unreliable performance, and lack of refinement. However, its innovative spirit laid the groundwork for the modern crew cab pickup, proving that even failures can have a lasting impact on the industry. Number 6, 1972 Chevrolet C10 Stepside, a truck that embraced nostalgia at a time when the market was rapidly evolving toward modernity. While the Stepside's retro design appealed to some buyers, it struggled to compete in practicality and efficiency, ultimately making it a less-than-ideal choice for the decades-changing demands. The Chevrolet C10 Stepside, with its exposed rear fenders and narrow bed, was a callback to the pickup designs of the 1940s and 1950s. This nostalgic styling evoked a simpler, more rugged era of work trucks, giving it charm and visual distinctiveness. For buyers who valued classic aesthetics over cutting-edge utility, the Stepside had undeniable appeal. However, by 1972, the automotive landscape had shifted. Trucks were no longer just utilitarian workhorses. They were increasingly being used as family vehicles and lifestyle statements. The Stepside's old-school design, while charming, became a liability in a market that prioritized functionality, aerodynamics, and modernity. The Stepside's exposed rear fenders and narrow cargo bed were vestiges of an earlier era, offering little advantage over the newer fleetside designs. Fleetside trucks, with their flat, wide beds, provided greater cargo capacity and easier loading, making them more practical for work and leisure activities. The Stepside's design, with its protruding fenders and boxy silhouette, was a drag, literally. Poor aerodynamics negatively impacted fuel efficiency, which was becoming a growing concern as the oil crisis loomed on the horizon. The narrow bed of the Stepside made it less versatile for hauling large or bulky loads compared to its fleetside counterparts. Buyers who needed a truck for serious work found the Stepside's cargo space inadequate for their needs. By the 1970s, truck buyers were gravitating toward more modern designs that offered a blend of utility, comfort, and style. The Stepside's retro appearance alienated younger buyers who were looking for something contemporary and forward-thinking. Chevrolet itself offered more practical fleetside models that outshone the Stepside in every measurable way. The fleetside C10s had the same engine options, similar pricing, and far greater utility, making the Stepside seem redundant. The failure of the Stepside to resonate with the broader market teaches us several key lessons about automotive design and consumer preferences. While heritage can be a selling point, it must be balanced with practicality and innovation. The Stepside leaned too heavily on nostalgia, making it feel out of step with the times. The success of fleetside pickups underscored the importance of adapting to changing consumer needs, particularly as trucks evolved into multi-purpose vehicles. When a brand offers multiple options in the same segment, the less practical or innovative model is likely to suffer. The Stepside was essentially cannibalized by Chevrolet's own fleetside offerings. Despite its shortcomings, the Stepside has carved out a niche as a beloved classic in the collector community. Its vintage design, once a liability, is now a point of pride for enthusiasts who appreciate its retro charm. Today, the Stepside represents a snapshot of an era when trucks were beginning to transition from rugged workhorses to versatile lifestyle vehicles. The Stepside's unique design and nostalgic appeal make it a sought-after model among classic truck collectors. Restored versions often highlight its timeless aesthetic while addressing its practical shortcomings with modern upgrades. The Stepside's stubborn clinging to tradition symbolizes a broader tension within the auto industry, balancing innovation with respect for legacy. The 1972 Chevrolet C10 Stepside was a truck caught between two worlds, honoring the past while failing to fully embrace the future. Its nostalgic design couldn't compensate for its lack of practicality and modernity, making it a misfit in a rapidly evolving market. However, its enduring charm and collector appeal demonstrate that even missteps can leave a lasting legacy. Number 5, 1978 GMC Caballero, a vehicle that demonstrates what happens when automakers stretch the concept of badge engineering to its limits. As a rebadged version of the Chevrolet El Camino, the Caballero offered nothing unique, leading many buyers to question its existence. The GMC Caballero was introduced as a companion to Chevrolet's El Camino, which had already carved out a niche as a car-based utility vehicle. Essentially, the Caballero was GMC's version of the El Camino, with minor cosmetic changes like a different grille and badging. It was aimed at buyers who preferred the GMC brand or were loyal to GMC dealerships. The Caballero was a textbook example of badge engineering gone wrong. It was virtually indistinguishable from the El Camino, aside from some superficial styling changes. Buyers could see through the veneer, realizing they were paying for a clone rather than a truly unique product. Like the El Camino, the Caballero struggled with its limited utility. The shallow truck bed and car-like frame made it impractical for heavy-duty tasks. Traditional pickups from GMC and Chevrolet offered far more capability, making the one Caballero seem redundant. The car-truck hybrid concept was already a niche market, and introducing a rebadged version only diluted its appeal further. Buyers who wanted an El Camino likely saw no reason to switch to the Caballero, as the vehicles were virtually identical. GMC, typically associated with trucks and commercial vehicles, confused its audience by releasing a car-like utility vehicle. This move blurred the brand's identity, leaving potential buyers unsure of what the Caballero represented. The El Camino had stronger brand recognition and was marketed more effectively by Chevrolet. By releasing the Caballero, GMC effectively created internal competition, which only hurt both vehicles in the long run. For badge engineering to succeed, the rebadged product must offer something distinct, whether in features, performance, or design. The Caballero failed to deliver on all fronts. Releasing a clone of an already niche product risked oversaturating the market, reducing the uniqueness that made the El Camino appealing in the first place. GMC's foray into the car-truck hybrid market conflicted with its reputation as a truck-focused brand, leaving buyers puzzled. While the Caballero may not have been a sales success, it has found a second life as a quirky classic. Enthusiasts appreciate its retro styling and the novelty of owning a lesser-known version of the El Camino. Its rarity compared to the El Camino also makes it a curiosity among collectors. The Caballero's obscurity adds to its charm for classic car enthusiasts who enjoy owning vehicles with unique backstories. The Caballero is a reminder of the pitfalls of badge engineering and the importance of maintaining clear brand identities. The 1978 GMC Caballero is a fascinating case study in automotive marketing and branding. Its failure highlights the dangers of over-relying on badge engineering without offering meaningful differentiation. While its existence may have puzzled buyers at the time, it has since become a quirky footnote in GMC's history. Number 4, 1971 Jeepster Commando pickup, a vehicle that serves as a cautionary tale about mismatched design and purpose. The Jeepster Commando pickup aimed to be a versatile utility vehicle, but ended up as an awkward experiment that failed to live up to the rugged reputation of its Jeep stablemates. The Jeepster Commando pickup was introduced as part of Kaiser Jeep's Jeepster Commando line, a range of compact utility vehicles intended to blend Jeep's legendary off-road capability with a dose of everyday practicality. The pickup version sought to expand the model's appeal by offering a small truck bed for light-duty hauling, aiming to compete with other compact pickups of the era. The Jeepster Commando pickup suffered from strange proportions, with a short wheelbase and a bed that looked almost like an afterthought. Its design lacked the rugged and purposeful appearance typically associated with Jeep vehicles, alienating potential buyers who expected a utilitarian aesthetic. Engine options, including the base 34 cubic inch inline 4 and optional 225 cubic inch V6, delivered mediocre power, especially when the vehicle was loaded. Its drivetrain and suspension were not optimized for either serious off-roading or heavy hauling, leaving it in a no-man's land between capability and comfort. The Commando pickup was overshadowed by Jeep's other offerings, like the CJ5 and Wagoneer, which were better suited for both utility and off-road enthusiasts. Buyers looking for a rugged, reliable Jeep gravitated toward these proven models instead. Like many vehicles of its era, the Jeepster Commando pickup suffered from quality control issues, with reports of drivetrain problems and rust susceptibility. These reliability concerns further eroded its appeal in a market that prized durability. The vehicle tried to bridge the gap between a compact utility truck and a recreational vehicle, but ended up excelling at neither. Its limited payload capacity and cramped cabin made it impractical for serious utility use, while its lack of refinement failed to attract leisure buyers. The Commando pickup struggled to gain traction in the market, with sales lagging behind expectations. By 1971, Jeep was transitioning to new ownership under AMC, and the Commando line was already losing steam. The pickup variant was quietly discontinued after 1971, marking the end of a brief and unremarkable chapter in Jeep's history. Vehicles need to have a clear identity and purpose. The Jeepster Commando pickup's attempt to straddle multiple roles left it unfocused and unattractive to potential buyers. Jeep's reputation was built on rugged off-roaders, and vehicles that deviated from this formula risked alienating its core audience. The Commando pickup diluted the brand's image by failing to meet these expectations. Utility vehicles can still offer practicality without sacrificing capability. The Commando pickup failed to strike this balance, offering neither robust performance nor meaningful comfort. The Jeepster Commando pickup has since become a rare curiosity among Jeep enthusiasts and collectors. Its limited production numbers and unique styling make it an interesting, albeit flawed, piece of Jeep history. While not a mainstream classic, the Commando pickup holds appeal for those who appreciate quirky and underappreciated vehicles. The Commando pickup's failure contributed to Jeep's eventual focus on more clearly defined models like the Cherokee and CJ series, which cemented the brand's reputation in the decades to come. The 1971 Jeepster Commando pickup serves as a reminder that even established brands like Jeep can stumble when they stray too far from their strengths. By failing to deliver on the rugged utility buyers expected, it fell into obscurity, remembered today more for its missteps than its merits. Number 3, 1973 Ford Courier, an ambitious yet flawed attempt by Ford to enter the burgeoning compact truck market of the 1970s. Marketed as a versatile light-duty truck, the Courier failed to deliver on performance, comfort, or durability, leaving it as a disappointing choice for buyers with serious work needs. The 1970s saw a growing demand for compact trucks as fuel prices rose, and buyers sought smaller, more economical alternatives to full-size pickups. Ford, recognizing this trend, decided to partner with Mazda to rebadge the Mazda B-Series as the Ford Courier. The Courier aimed to offer an affordable, compact truck that combined practicality with Ford's branding power. The Courier was a thinly disguised Mazda B-Series with a Ford badge slapped on it. While rebadging is not uncommon, the Courier failed to establish its own identity in a competitive market. Buyers expecting Ford's hallmark ruggedness were left disappointed by the Courier's lightweight construction and lack of durability. The Courier was powered by a 1.8-liter inline 4 engine producing just 74 horsepower. Even by compact truck standards, this was woefully insufficient, particularly when hauling cargo or navigating hilly terrain. Its manual transmission often felt clunky, and acceleration was sluggish, making it ill-suited for demanding tasks or highway driving. The suspension was designed for light-duty work, but provided a harsh and bouncy ride, even on paved roads. Inside, the cabin was cramped and bare bones, with minimal insulation and uncomfortable seats that made long trips a chore. The Courier struggled to hold up under heavy use, with its lightweight frame prone to wear and tear. Reports of rust and mechanical failures plagued the vehicle, further tarnishing its reputation among buyers seeking a dependable workhorse. While other compact trucks of the era, like the Toyota Hilux, gained traction by blending reliability with practicality, the Courier felt like an afterthought. Ford's reliance on Mazda's platform without significant improvements or innovations led to a vehicle that felt outdated upon arrival. Initially, the Courier gained some traction due to its lower price and Ford's brand recognition. However, buyers quickly realized it lacked the toughness and capability associated with Ford trucks. Word spread that the Courier was slow, uncomfortable, and unreliable, leading many to opt for more robust options from competitors like Toyota and Datsun. Ford's reputation for building durable, work-ready trucks set a high bar that the Courier failed to clear. Buyers expected a compact version of the F-Series and were instead given a rebadged import with little connection to Ford's legacy. A compact truck must still perform its core duties effectively. The Courier's lack of power and inability to handle serious work rendered it an impractical choice for many buyers. Simply slapping a brand name onto an imported product is not a recipe for success. Consumers quickly saw through the Courier's facade, and its lack of originality hurt Ford's credibility in the compact truck market. While the Courier struggled to make an impact, it laid the groundwork for Ford's future success in the compact truck segment. By the early 1980s, Ford introduced the Ranger, a purpose-built compact truck that fully embodied the ruggedness and utility buyers expected. The lessons learned from the Courier's shortcomings informed the design and strategy behind the Ranger's development. The 1973 Ford Courier serves as a cautionary tale about entering a competitive market unprepared. By failing to deliver on performance, comfort, and durability, the Courier alienated the very buyers it sought to attract. Number 2, 1974 Plymouth Trail Duster, a vehicle that attempted to carve a niche in the SUV market but ultimately failed to impress. Essentially a rebadged Dodge Ramcharger, the Trail Duster had a unique feature, a removable roof, but it also brought with it a host of compromises. In the early 1970s, the SUV market was beginning to expand, with models like the Chevrolet Blazer and Ford Bronco gaining traction. These vehicles combined off-road capability with everyday practicality, becoming popular among outdoors enthusiasts and suburban families alike. Chrysler sought to enter this market with not one but two entries, the Dodge Ramcharger and its clone, the Plymouth Trail Duster. While the Ramcharger found some success, the Trail Duster failed to establish a unique identity, leaving it as little more than an afterthought. The Trail Duster was nearly identical to the Dodge Ramcharger in design, engineering, and purpose. Plymouth, a brand more associated with passenger cars, had little credibility in the truck or SUV space. Buyers were confused as to why Chrysler introduced a second, virtually identical model instead of focusing on strengthening the Ramcharger's position. The Trail Duster featured a removable fiberglass roof, a feature intended to appeal to outdoor enthusiasts. Removing and reattaching the roof was cumbersome and required multiple people. Once removed, the vehicle was prone to leaks and drafts, even when the roof was reinstalled. While innovative, this feature seemed more like a gimmick than a practical addition for most buyers. The Trail Duster's ride quality was rough, with an outdated suspension system that failed to provide comfort on paved roads. Interior materials were cheap and prone to wear, giving the vehicle a Spartan and utilitarian feel that alienated buyers seeking a more refined SUV experience. The Trail Duster struggled to compete in terms of reliability, with frequent complaints about drivetrain issues and body rust. Its build quality left much to be desired, and its durability lagged behind competitors like the Ford Bronco and Chevrolet Blazer. The Trail Duster came equipped with a range of V8 engines, but they were burdened by the vehicle's weight and emissions-related performance losses. Fuel economy, even for an SUV of its time, was abysmal, further deterring buyers during the 1970s energy crisis. The Trail Duster entered a crowded field already dominated by stronger competitors. Its overlap with the Dodge Ramcharger confused buyers, as Plymouth lacked the brand association with rugged off-road vehicles. Sales were lackluster, and by the early 1980s, Chrysler quietly discontinued the model. Plymouth's foray into the SUV market felt forced and unnecessary. Buyers trusted brands like Jeep, Ford, and Chevrolet for their off-road and utility needs. Plymouth's reputation for passenger cars didn't resonate with the SUV audience. The removable roof was an interesting idea but was poorly executed. Instead of adding value, it became a liability, causing leaks and compromising the vehicle's structural integrity. The Trail Duster offered no meaningful improvements or differences compared to the Dodge Ramcharger. Without a unique selling point, it failed to stand out. Entering a new segment requires aligning with customer expectations. Plymouth's lack of association with trucks and SUVs hindered the Trail Duster's credibility. Features like a convertible roof must be well engineered and enhance the ownership experience. Gimmicks can backfire if they don't deliver real value. Launching two nearly identical products under different brands can confuse buyers and dilute market impact. Chrysler would have been better served by focusing on the Ramcharger. The 1974 Plymouth Trail Duster serves as a case study in missed opportunities and poor strategic planning. Its gimmicky features, lack of refinement, and overlap with the Dodge Ramcharger made it redundant in the SUV market. Ultimately, the Trail Duster is remembered more as a curiosity than a contender. Number 1, 1977 Dodge Warlock, a flashy, niche offering from Dodge's adult toys truck lineup. With its gold pinstriping bucket seats and wood accents on the bed, the Warlock was aimed at young buyers seeking a stylish truck. However, it ultimately failed to establish itself as a serious work vehicle or a long-lasting trendsetter. Let's break down why the Dodge Warlock was more sparkle than substance. Background: Dodge's adult toys lineup. In the 1970s, pickup trucks began transitioning from purely utilitarian workhorses to vehicles that could serve as daily drivers. Dodge capitalized on this trend by launching its adult toys lineup, which included specialty trucks like the Dodge Macho Power Wagon, Top Hand, and our subject for today, the Dodge Warlock. The Warlock was marketed as a factory custom, offering bold styling and unique features straight from the showroom floor. Dodge hoped this strategy would appeal to young, adventurous buyers looking for something distinct. What made the Dodge Warlock unique? 1. Eye-catching styling. The Warlock's gold pinstriping on deep black or vibrant colored paint was designed to stand out. The wood accents on the truck bed sides and tailgate added a touch of nostalgia, evoking the feel of classic, old-world craftsmanship. Gold-colored wheels and chrome exhaust stacks gave the truck a more aggressive and flashy look. 2. Interior features. Inside, the Warlock featured bucket seats, a rarity in pickups of the time. Premium carpeting and a custom steering wheel attempted to position the truck as a blend of style and comfort. 3. Performance options. Dodge offered the Warlock with a range of engines, from a modest slant 6 to V8 options, including the powerful 440 Magnum. However, even with a big engine, the Warlock's focus on style over substance limited its appeal as a performance vehicle. Why the 1977 Dodge Warlock failed one gimmick over functionality. While the Warlock looked impressive, its flashy features added no practical value for typical truck buyers. The gold pinstriping, chrome stacks, and wood accents made it more of a showpiece than a workhorse. 2. Limited practicality. The Warlock's wooden bed accents, while attractive, were prone to wear and damage. This made the truck less suitable for hauling or rugged use, alienating buyers who needed a reliable, durable vehicle. 3. High price for the market. The Warlock's premium styling came with a premium price. Many buyers opted for simpler, more affordable pickups that offered better value for money. 4th. Niche appeal. The Warlock targeted a very specific demographic, young buyers who wanted a truck as a fashion statement. While this group existed, it wasn't large enough to sustain the model's success over time. Cultural and market context. By 1977, the American economy was dealing with the aftermath of the 1973 oil crisis. Buyers were increasingly concerned with fuel efficiency and practicality, especially in trucks. The Warlock's emphasis on style made it ill-suited for this environment. Additionally, the market for custom trucks from the factory was relatively new. While Dodge's adult toys lineup had its fans, it was a risky strategy in a market still dominated by work-focused pickups. Lessons from the 1977 Dodge Warlock. 1. Style can't replace substance. While bold design can attract attention, it needs to be paired with functionality to ensure long-term success, especially in a vehicle category like trucks. 2. Understand the target market. The Warlock was aimed at a niche audience that couldn't provide the volume needed for sustained success. Understanding the broader market's needs is crucial. Features like wooden bed accents may look good, but compromise the ruggedness expected of a pickup. Durability should never be sacrificed for aesthetics in this segment. The 1977 Dodge Warlock is a fascinating chapter in the history of trucks. Its flashy styling and factory customization made it a trailblazer of sorts, but it was ultimately a victim of its own limitations. By prioritizing style over practicality, Dodge alienated buyers who needed a truck that could do more than just turn heads. Now I leave you with a question. Could a modern version of the Warlock, with improved durability and performance, succeed in today's market? Or is it destined to remain a relic of a more whimsical era in automotive history?